about that one. That's still rolling.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Awesome. Hernan, thank you so much
My pleasure,
for
man.
taking the time. I've been a big fan of Super Progressive, and that's how Will and I got in touch. And my whole take on electronic music is to focus on the impact and the power that it has to help people on an emotional level. And after COVID, and I'll give some context as to kind of how I arrived here, and it might be helpful for some of the questions that I'm going to ask. But the impact that music has on people, whether it's through meditation or whether it's helping them with depression, and after going through COVID, a lot of people are struggling on a global level. So I'm focusing on the mindfulness, the meditation portion, and the impact that music has on people's ability to heal. And as a global international DJ that travels, you have this ability to touch so many people with your music. But as someone who travels so much, I have to imagine that's pretty stressful on yourself. Is there anything that you do to keep yourself grounded, to keep yourself mentally fit when traveling all over?
Well, first I'm married with a yoga teacher for kids, and she is like my health coach, right? Not only the best person in my life, my wife, but also is a health coach. She says you should do this, you should do that. She teach me and she counsel me, how you say, to also I'm a kind of like an easygoing person in general. I live this crazy life of planes and clubs and hotels, but then inside I'm just a very peaceful person. I'm anxious as a how I say, my body is anxious, but mind wise I'm super relaxed. Then music saves us always, and is definitely the most important, in my opinion, right? It's the most important art that it will never let you down. Music first is always going to be with you, and the best thing, and this is how I ended. I wrote a book a couple of years ago, and the last sentence says the best about music is that it's endless. It's never gonna end, right? Okay, and I think like these things, music saves us, never lets you down, and it's endless. You always have music for you to make you feel good, or to make you feel emotional, or to feel supported, and that's something that I cannot find in anything else. Nothing, not even persons, So it's like all that create like I say, I don't know. Sorry, my English is not as good as I wanted to say this, but the whole thing about we DJs, because this is not only applies to me, applies to probably any DJ. We travel the world doing what we most like, sharing our passion for music, our new records to huge crowds all over the world. They feel that energy. They gave us energy back. Goes around, comes around. It's a great karma for everybody. So I think the whole thing is a very, very positive thing. I'm not necessarily saying that everything is amazing, is perfect, but if we think about how the state of the world these days, or lately, and things, all the music scene and especially the club music scene is super positive and emotional, and in many different respects, it's something very, very remarkable.
Beautiful. I'd love to hear that. And based on something you had said a little bit earlier with the energy that you're feeling from the crowd, especially this year,
yes.
After the last COVID, 2021, 2022, I feel like people were trying to get back on their feet. And what does that energy mean for you? Have you seen something like this before in your career?
No, and even, let me tell you, I'm Argentinian. We are used to excesses of energy. I don't know if you see when we won the World Cup last December.
Very passionate for
there
culture.
Are 6 million people in the streets.
Yeah.
This is never happened in history of civilization, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is how crazy we are. Still, the amount of energy I saw since the COVID kind of finished and started back, let's say all this 2022 past year, it's been incredible, and it really show you and tell you how much people needed not just the music, because we did streams, we did there were other ways to share music, but no, the people needed to be this, the music in the club and the touch of the people, not just the music, you know, is the whole thing. And that change of energies that we were taking, and that feeling in that atmospheres. So that's why I say it's so special, and totally, I never felt the way it is now, and it still is. Luckily, as I said in the other interview, I thought probably after a year things would start slowing down and going back to like pre-COVID numbers, let's say. But it's not. It's looking like it's when Set Underground announced this boat, the tickets were sold in 5 minutes.
So fast.
5, you know. And we did these shows in Argentina for my birthday 2 weeks ago, and again they sold 2 days of 70,000 people like this, boom, you know, and it's all like that all the time, you know, and not just with club music, you know. Coldplay went to play in Argentina and they did 10 times the River Plate Stadium, which is like our Wembley, right?
Wow.
10 nights, right? It's a record for them, record for us, record I think for everybody, you know. So that tells you how people needed this, and I'm so happy at least to be a little part of the ones that we are giving this back.
100%. I think, just to piggyback on what you're saying, that need for human connection, and I think a lot of people, including myself, had realized from being pigeonholed at home for so long how important those moments are with going out with friends or having those experiences. Because you think back, at least for myself, I think back and I say, man, I should have gotten pizza with my best friend that one time. You know,
Yeah.
I should have just gone. You know, I was kind of tired, but like, next time I'll go.
But
and
now
there's a balance.
Now you do it.
Now I'm here.
Now you do it.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You know, and you know, the other day I was doing another interview. They were asking me, were you happy doing those streams? And I said, I was happy doing the streams because at that moment it was the only thing we could do. But I hope I never have to do another stream. You know, but because
sure.
that means that I cannot play right in front of the crowd. You
For
know,
sure.
and we all know, not, I mean, people, also the DJs, also you guys, everybody involved in this thing. What we are in love since we are kids is this, is the party, and all the things around it.
I couldn't agree more.
Thank
And
you.
the last question I have for you is, you started your career super young,
Yes.
and you've been playing a DJ. You've been a DJ your whole life.
yes.
If you could go back and write a letter to your younger self of how to manage and navigate some of the stresses that were going to come later in life, other than make sure you marry a yoga teacher and a health coach, what would be some gifts of knowledge that you could give your younger self?
I don't know. I mean, probably, you know, I had like more than 40 years DJing, right? The first half, I was happy as a DJ, but I was totally not successful at all. I couldn't find more than 5 people that they would like what I was doing. I was still happy because I was so much passion into the music that I kept doing. But at the same time, I was kind of sometimes thinking, wow, my father was right. I'm never gonna be able to have a good life being a DJ, you know, never gonna have to be able to marry and have kids because I cannot pay nothing with this. And I kind of like, you know, I'm not sure if the word is suffer, but kind of like have a lot of doubts. Never thought on quitting, but you know, it would have been nice to have a letter from the future saying, "Don't worry, sooner or later things are gonna come." You know, like in you know, in the Back to the Future movie, you know, see a picture of not me, but at least DJs have been successful, and say, "Yes, this is gonna happen one day." You know,
It can be done.
yeah, exactly.
So some reassurance into the future.
Yeah, probably that, but I have to be honest, you know, I was so stubborn that when back in Argentina nobody wanted to hear club music, my feeling wasn't that maybe the music is not so good. It is maybe they are not listening properly. Like, I never have the doubt about, as I said, I was, but not from an arrogant way, from a stubborn way, and from a excess of passion about music, you know. I was thinking, this is amazing, people need to listen more. So I was going to radio shows and stuff, trying to show, you know, more people this music, because I was completely sure that it was going to be the hit one day. The thing is, I wasn't sure.
And I think it takes people time to realize the magic in this music and what it can do.
It's good you say that, because I would say 90% of the people I know, after they are exposed to club music more than once, not the first time, but some people get hooked immediately, but others, they say, oh, I don't know, but at the 4th or 5th time they get hooked, and then it's like for life.
I agree. It's a lot of set and setting with house music.
Yeah, I have many friends that they were not really into, and now they are super into. You know, but it took time. Others, they were more quick.
Very interesting. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, man.
I really appreciate you taking the time out to do this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Nice, man. You're the man.